You know the scene. It's late, maybe 1 in the morning, and your phone is the only thing lighting up the room. You see something awful, something that makes your stomach clench, but for some reason, you just keep scrolling. So, let's get into it. Let's figure out why our brains get so completely stuck in that endless feed of bad news.
Does that feel familiar? Your thumb just keeps flicking up, 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 almost like it has a mind of its own. It's this weird detached feeling, right? Like a little robot has taken over your hand. Well, believe it or not, this strange habit actually has a name.
It's called doomscrolling. Yep, that's the official term for getting sucked into that black hole of negative information online. So today, we're going to break down exactly why our brains force us to stare at these digital monsters, and more importantly, how we can finally get back in control.
So here's our plan. First, we're going to look at why your phone is basically a casino in your pocket. Then, we'll dive into our ancient brain's survival instincts. After that, we'll uncover the chemical loop that gets us hooked. And finally, we'll arm you with some simple, practical tools to fight back.
Okay, first up, the slot machine in your pocket. It turns out psychologists have figured out that for our brains, scrolling through a news feed feels almost exactly like pulling the lever on a slot machine.
The secret sauce here is something called intermittent reinforcement. Now that's a fancy term, but it just means you never know what's coming next. And that unpredictability, it's incredibly addictive. This is not an accident, by the way. The algorithms are built to mix scary headlines with cute animal videos to keep you pulling that lever. Your brain can't tell the difference between hitting the jackpot and finding a new piece of information. It just wants one more scroll.
And this is the thought that keeps us trapped. What if? What if the next one is the one? That simple question makes our brain release dopamine, but here's the key thing to understand. Dopamine isn't really the hormone of pleasure. It's the hormone of anticipation. It's the thrill of the hunt for information, not the information itself, that keeps us scrolling for that next little win.
So that slot machine effect is super powerful because it taps directly into our brain's ancient operating system. See, it's not just the technology. Our own brains are totally primed for this. Our brain is basically a powerful prediction machine, and it evolved to do one thing really, really well: keep us safe from any threats.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. Thousands of years ago, the humans who were obsessed with potential danger, that rustle in the bushes, that shadow over there, those are the ones who survived to pass on their genes. That instinct to constantly scan for threats isn't a bug. It's a feature that's hardwired right into our DNA.
Right, so here's the problem. Our ancient brain just hasn't caught up to the internet age. It's still running on that same old software. It sees this fire hose of bad news and thinks, this is great. If I can just gather all this data on every possible disaster, I'll be able to predict the future and keep myself safe.
Think of the rational thinking part of your brain as a pilot. It's trying to be strategic, right? It's gathering all this intel to create a plan B for every single catastrophe it reads about. But instead of making you feel prepared, it just overloads the whole system, leading to anxiety and stress.
And this constant need for information leads us straight into a chemical trap, the dopamine loop. It sounds completely backward, doesn't it? Bad news should push us away. But because of our brain chemistry, we get caught in this weird cycle that actually makes consuming fear feel strangely rewarding.
So here's how it works. You start feeling anxious, so you search for information to feel more in control. You find an article, even if it's a scary one. Your brain immediately goes, aha, I found something. I learned something new, and it gives you a tiny little hit of dopamine as a reward. But that good feeling lasts for like a second. So you feel anxious again, and you need that next information hit. And just like that, you're a hamster on a wheel running in circles.
So, how in the world do we break out of this? How do we beat this digital monster? Well, the good news is there are a few simple, really powerful tools you can use to snatch back control from the algorithm and from your own ancient brain. First thing, talk to yourself. No, seriously. The moment you feel yourself getting stuck in that scroll, ask this question out loud. Hearing your own voice actually forces your brain to slow down and engages the rational part, your pilot, helping it to take back the controls from the panicking, automatic part of your brain. All right, so let's quickly recap the game plan. First, switch on your pilot by speaking your thoughts out loud. Next, debug your phone. Get rid of those apps with screaming notifications and flashy headlines. Then, protect your sanctuary. Your home and even your phone should be a place of rest, not an information war zone. And most importantly, always remember, you are the pilot. You have the ultimate power to just close the app. As we wrap this up,
I think it's really important to be kind to yourself about this. Your brain isn't broken. It's an ancient survival machine that's doing its absolute best to protect you in a crazy modern world it was never designed for. Sometimes it just tries a little too hard.
And maybe this is the most important thing to take away from all of this. Just give yourself permission to disconnect. You do not have to know about every single thing happening in the world every minute of every day. The saber-toothed tiger is gone. It really is safe to log off.